Morning super sentence stackers, thanks for being here in the classroom, and we've all come together today to watch today's film, and this film is called Rooted. If you want to find the film, click on the link below in YouTube and you can go and watch it. Rooted is just such an adorable film about two trees who are planted either side of a pathway in a park. And this is a story of their friendship and how their friendship grows. I really do love this film and I know you're going to love it too. And how does super sentence stacking work? Well, we've got to think about our job in two parts. First of all, we're going to be film watchers. I need you to find Rooted. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to watch it and enjoy the whole film. It really is a beautiful film. And once you've watched it, the next thing I need you to do is to get ready for writing. And your first job, after you've watched it, is to choose a chunk. Now, in the link below is some advice on how you choose a chunk. And choose a chunk means that you decide which part of the film you'd like to write to. And you've got to write within those time frames. And the reason why we need to do this is there is writing coming from all over the country and Mrs. C needs to sew it all together. And the only way I can sew it all together is if you stay within your chosen chunk. Rooted has been cut up into 9 precious pieces. And once you've chosen your chunk and you've got a piece of paper, a pencil or a pen, you can write your chunk at the top of the sheet. So today, from Rooted, my chosen chunk is going to be chunk 3. Now, there's some other things that we've got to agree and get in place. And it's an agreement of what the characters are going to be called. Now, we've got 2 trees. And the first character we meet is Man Tree. And we're going to call him Man Tree. The other character is Lady Tree, and that's what we're going to call her. And we're going to write a third person narrative using those character names Man Tree, Lady Tree, and we're going to use pronouns like he, she and they. And that will mean we've got good cohesion across the piece. What Mrs. C is going to do now is imagine that you've watched the film and I'm going to help you with your writing. I'm going to be your writing teacher and I'm going to do some demonstration writing. When I do demonstration writing, you're able to see my thinking because I'm going to talk out loud the process. You're going to see inside my mind and all the choices that I reject or keep or sharpen as I craft and construct sentences. Now, I'm going to ask you to go and write 9 sentences when you've chosen your chunk and you've watched the film. I want you to try your best and I want you to put effort into your language choices. I never want you to write more than 9 sentences. But also, don't worry if you can't reach 9 sentences. But that is your writing challenge. There are some other things I want you to think about. And every day, I'll ask you to zoom into 3 writing challenges. I'm going to talk about those now. What are today's writing challenges? Right, first of all, top of the charts. One of the things I want you to focus on and draw emphasis to is the sounds of the story. In this film, the seasons are so important, and we can make the seasons come to life. And one of the ways writers can make the seasons come to life is not just sights and not just smells, but also the sounds in the environment. And that's what we're going to really focus on today. So we're going to drench our story in lots of sounds. The second writing challenge is going to be alliteration. And this is where we are going to zoom into the sounds at the beginning of words, and we're going to group them together so they have a similar sound. And that similarity is going to make a reader really connect and enjoy the language and rhythm of the writing. And I'm going to help you and give you some ideas by how we can gather words with the same sounds at the beginning. And the third thing I'm going to ask you to do is build a sentence using this idea of a power of three, a group of three ideas together. And one of the things I'm really interested in is borrowing sentences from our very best authors and using them as scaffolds so that we can write our own. I've got a sentence scaffold for you today, and this sentence has been written by J.M. Barrie, and it's a sentence from Peter Pan. This is a sentence, oh, Mrs. C needs some blue tack, is a sentence where J.M. Barrie has used the idea of a group of three. I'm going to read it, and I want to notice what happens in this sentence, and then we are going to use that structure to write our own a bit later. I'm going to read it. All the world is made of faith and trust and pixie dust. Oh, I love that sentence. And can you notice how J.M. Barrie has used commas to create this list of three? Okay. I'm going to get started now. I'm going to be your writing teacher, and I'm going to show you how to trail these writing challenges into the sentences as we think about this wonderful film, Rooted. Okay, first of all, I'm going to think about the sounds of spring. And that is how I'm going to set the scene. I want to really think of positive sounds because this film has a very wonderfully happy atmosphere, and I want to trail that through some of these ideas. So I'm thinking of all the positive sounds in the park. I'm thinking of the things that might be noisy, like, even though there might be small sounds, but birds and leaves and nearby streams. I want you to notice some of the positive words I'm using to create this atmosphere. I'm going to start with the determiner the to set the scene. The sweet sounds of spring. And this other sense that they're all around man-tree and lady-tree. The sweet sounds of spring, and that sort of all aroundness, tangled, swirled. Oh, I like swirled. I'm going to write down that idea. The sweet sounds of spring swirled around them. Now I've set this scene for sound, and it has a positive intent. I'm going to zoom into perhaps two specific sounds and who's making them. I'm going to inject some warmth into the writing as well here. Under the sunlight, the sunshine, the sky. I'm going to put under the sunshine. Under the sunshine, comma, and then I'm going to think perhaps about the birds. Under the sunshine, birds tweeted, chirped, sang. I like chirped. Birds chirped. And then I'm going to add in a how they chirped. An ly adverb, perhaps. Birds chirped happily. I'm going to do some thesaurus thinking now and gather other synonyms in that family. Happily, I'm going to write that down over here. Happily. And in that same family, joyfully. Another word I could use, cheerfully. Or, yeah, I've run out of ideas. I actually like cheerfully. Okay, under the sunshine, birds chirped cheerfully. And I want to add in another sound. I mentioned earlier the stream in the distance, and cheerfully combining with and I'm going to think about the sound of that stream. It's not very nearby, so I'm going to tell the reader that. The distant, I need some words to describe the stream. A bubble, a burble, a gargle, not sure about that. With the distant babble, that's more positive. With the distant babble of the park's stream. Oh yes, I've really drenched the writing in sounds there. I'm pleased with that. Okay, I'm now going to think about alliteration, and I love this focus on nature. And I'm going to think about other things I saw in that film and focus on the setting. I can remember butterflies, and I think butterflies is a really good place to start to build some alliteration. So I've got to think about perhaps words that begin with that sound, but. I could have big, I could have blue, I could have bold. There's some ideas. Now I've done that, I'm going to build a sentence thinking about butterflies and language. Another idea's popped into my head, beautiful. I'm going to start with that word. Beautiful big butterflies. Beautiful beguiling butterflies. You know, they are hypnotising everybody because their movement is so entrancing. I like beguiling, quite tricky to spell. Beguiling. I'm going to check that in a moment. Beautiful beguiling butterflies. Oh, look, see what I've done there? Oh, it's a good job I reread that. I'm going to change that because I was so busy rereading, I wrote beautiful twice. Do you know, it's so important to reread your work and be really switched on to silly mistakes you might make. Beautiful beguiling butterflies. And then I want to show, using a positive verb that they're having fun. Beautiful beguiling butterflies played. That's a good word, but I'm going to gather some more now. I'm going to use some thesaurus thinking. Let me check out if that is exactly the word I do want to use. Beautiful beguiling butterflies played. Beautiful beguiling butterflies danced. Oh, I like that. Beautiful beguiling butterflies fluttered. Ah, that's a nice word. As I look across these, I actually really like played because there is this sense of freedom and fun and enjoyment. I'm going to take played. Beautiful beguiling butterflies played in the heat. Oh, full stop. Okay, we're now going to use the help of J.M. Barrie, and we're going to use his sentence scaffold to write our own. I'm going to read it again. All the world is made of faith and trust and pixie dust. Now, at the heart of that, there's some really good ideas that we can use here. All the world, that's a lovely phrase. And this sort of group of three idea, separated by commas. I'm going to remember that as well. But for it to work in our story, I think we need some more tree words. And I'm going to now build an associated little bank of words to do with trees, because I feel like I need more of those words. So I'm just going to wipe that out there because that has already helped my thinking, and I'm going to write the word tree. I'm going to think and stretch my thinking now, so I've got all the associations to do with tree. Twig, sprig, bud, bark, branch, let me think, blossom. Oh, these are all good associations. Grow, foliage. I am now going to use this sentence scaffold, but I'm not really interested in the pixie dust. I'm actually now going to take some of these tree words and use them in that structure. Okay, I think I need to make it more obvious. It's about these trees who are friends. So I'm going to start like that. For this couple, man tree and lady tree, for this couple, all the world, thank you J.M. Barrie, all the world is made of, and now I want the language of friendship. For this couple, all the world is made of gift blossom, because she throws in pink blossom. Oh, it's so adorable. It's made of gift blossom. Oh, then I'm going to follow J.M. Barrie's lead and put in a comma. And, oh, I like this idea of buds. And buds of kindness. Oh, that's good. I'm going to do some thesaurus thinking to check out if this is the precise word I need. Let me have a little think. Kindness. Fondness. in that synonym family, tenderness. Oh. And buds of, oh, kindness. Oh, that's nice. And I'm going to take that comma, and then I'm going to finish. Now I don't want pixie dust, but I might want to lean on some of these tree words and a branching out. Branching, oh, and a new, that'll be better, and a new branching out of friendship. I'm going to go back now and reread my writing to double check I've done everything I want to. The sweet sounds of spring swirled around them. Under the sunshine, birds chirped cheerfully, combining with the distant babble of the park stream. Beautiful, beguiling butterflies played in the heat. For this couple, all the world is made of gift blossom and buds of kindness and a new branching out of friendship. Thank you, super sentence stackers, for listening in to that demonstration writing. What I want you to do now is go and find the film. Go and choose the chunk. In the link below, there is help to find the film and help below to find your chunk. Remember, Mrs. C doesn't want you to write about the whole film, but just the precious part that you've chosen. I challenge you to write 9 sentences for your part, and then see if you can trail in sounds, alliteration, and use a J.M. Barrie structure. Thank you for listening so carefully. I am so proud of when you think about all of your language and the choices you make, and rest assured I read every piece that finds me. And to hand your writing in, I'd like you to use the hashtag #SuperSentenceStackers, and you can post it on Twitter to me at Jane Considine. You can hand it in on Facebook, The Training Space, and I will read all of your work, and then I'll see you back at 3:30 once I've chosen my favourites for today, when I read the nation's story. Our story that we've crafted together collegially, called Rooted. I can't wait to read your work. Thank you, everybody.